really wish I could say psych right now, but the patch notes are crazy. Check this.
The U.S. president's high-stakes phone call with his Russian counterpart.
I think some progress has been made.
And the reaction. Former U.S. President Joe Biden's prostate cancer prognosis.
So it's not like a death sentence.
The potential treatments and why the disease may not have been detected sooner.
What? He's the former president of the United States of America, and you're telling me he got the prostate? He ended up getting hit with that DLC update? Nah, man, gotta say psych on that one.
An ultimatum from Canada and other Western nations. The potential consequences if Israel continues its military offensive and keeps restricting aid into Gaza. Plus,
yeah, oh, Israel is pretty mad, bro. They're mad with the US. They're mad with the homie Trump because he has been doing like peace talks in the Middle East, and now he's doing peace talks with Russia, with Ukraine, and he's like, yo, you guys gotta stop beefing, which is, bro, absolutely. Absolutely, stop the beef. Stop the beef. Stop the beef. If you're new here, you do not have to subscribe. You do not have to like the video. Real quick though, I need to shout out you guys. Thank you guys so much for your generosity, the super thanks, the tips and all that. Appreciate it, man. Thank you guys so much for that. All right, let's get to it and wait for it.
To Russia's war on Ukraine, or more false hope for peace in the 3-year-long conflict. Today, U.S. President Donald Trump spent over 2 hours on the phone with Russian President Vladimir Putin in a bid to jumpstart ceasefire talks with Ukraine. Talks Trump claimed would start immediately. But Ukraine still has doubts over Putin's cooperation as Russia keeps moving the goalposts and launching attacks. Jackson Prosco has our top story tonight.
A day after Russia launched its largest drone attack of the war, firing nearly 300 drones at Ukraine, U.S. President Donald Trump engaged in telephone diplomacy aimed at finding peace.
We just spent 2.5 hours talking to Vladimir Putin.
It was 2.5 hours. It was not 2 hours. He spent 2.5 hours. Get it right.
And I think some progress has been made.
The lengthy call with the Russian president followed an earlier call with Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky. Later, Trump briefed European leaders and Zelensky.
We're trying to get that whole thing wrapped up. What a shame that it ever started in the first place.
Trump said,
I mean, I heard the numbers like 12,000 soldiers and civilians have lost their lives during this 3-year-long conflict, which shouldn't have happened. Crazy, right? So yeah, definitely, man. Let there be peace in Ukraine. Let there be peace in Russia. Let there be peace in the world. I mean, in the perfect world, you know, it would be peace, but sadly, we ain't in a perfect world, right? Yeah.
Said the two sides are ready to start immediate talks. The Kremlin says there's no timeline, but that it's ready to work with Ukraine on a memorandum about a future peace accord. We should simply determine the most effective ways to move towards peace, said Putin.
Russia is Russia. They want something, but they even don't know what they want. And when they say they want something,
Russia is like that crazy ex right now. That's what he's trying to say. Like, Russia is that crazy ex. She do not know what she wants. She thinks she wants that, but when she gets that, she looks all kinda emotional. She acts kinda crazy. So she do not want that, in other words.
Want everything.
Pressure has been mounting on all sides to find a path forward.
With us, you start having cards. Right now,
Trump's testy relationship with Zelensky has given way to White House frustration with Putin, who has so far refused to work.
You check this, that soldier did that, bro. He did that, bro. What the hell?
Has given way to White House frustration.
Yeah, look at that, look at that, look at that dude, look at that dude. I mean, even though he goes, damn, they do that, that's crazy.
With Putin, who has,
oh man, that look, bro, insane.
So far refused to work toward peace.
We want to see outcomes. And the first major outcome that we wanted to see, which we were glad about, is that we wanted the Russians and the Ukrainians to put a real peace proposal on the table.
Trump, you know, keep JD Vance at bay, keep him at home, because everywhere he goes, disasters happen. He went to the Vatican, the Pope passed away. He went to India, India struck Pakistan, and Pakistan dropped their jets. And now China is like, you see, made in China is #1. All right, so yeah, it's a crazy situation. Keep the homie JD at bay, at home. We're gonna drop a thank you real quick to the homie JD before he said, but did you say thank you? We're gonna say thank you.
2 is feeling the heat. facing criticism that he overpromised when he said he would end the war on his first day in office.
I will have the horrible war between Russia and Ukraine settled. We're going to get it settled and stop the death.
If talks do proceed, they could unfold at the Vatican at the invitation of the new Pope. Trump also hinted there's room for a large-scale trade deal with Russia once the war is over, signaling there would be no long-term penalties for Moscow for its invasion of Ukraine.
Now, I don't know how people view this. I feel like everybody would have different opinions, but in all reality, yeah, Russia deserved the sanctions and all that initially, but I think if they can agree to ceasefire, dropping all of that from Russia would be a smart move, because if you put sanctions on Russia, you stop the trade wars or you do the trade wars and you stop the trade deals and all that, then Russia will feel some way about it, and rightfully so. They would be like, yeah, okay, so we ceasefire and now we're still not gonna get anything. Start another war, right?
Pope Leo XIV met with the American Vice President at the Vatican today. J.D. Vance gifted the Chicago-born pontiff a Chicago Bears jersey and passed along a letter from President Trump inviting the Pope to the White House. The Trump administration is hoping to reset relations with the Vatican. Before being elected Pope, then...
Bro, nah, man. You don't send the homie JD, bro. Like, damn, man. Yo, nah, man. Let's hope for the best. Let's hope for the best. Pinky promise. Pinky promise.
Cardinal Robert Prevost had shared articles on social media criticizing Trump's plans for mass deportations of migrants. The late Pope Francis was also a vocal critic of the Trump administration's immigration policies. To breaking news now, American automaker GM has announced it will stop exporting its vehicles to China over the trade war sparked by Trump's tariffs. In a statement, a company spokesperson pointed to significant changes to economic conditions. Ford also stopped exports to China back in April. Tariffs between the U.S. and China recently reached...
But the deals are... But things are calming down, right?
...more than 100%. Both have agreed to lower them and negotiate an end to the trade dispute. There's concern tonight for former U.S. President Joe Biden over his sudden diagnosis of aggressive prostate cancer. And support
that's crazy.
is pouring in. Prime Minister Mark Carney says he's hopeful Biden's commitment to family and faith will carry him through. King Charles, who was diagnosed with cancer last year, sent a private letter of support. Biden's office says the cancer has spread to his bones. But as Heidi Petrachuk reports, experts say there is hope it can be treated.
Awareness is important.
Former U.S. President Joe Biden's aggressive form of prostate cancer resonates with Ross McDonald, who had his own diagnosis 7 years ago.
It's not like a death sentence where you're going to be gone next week or in a short period of time.
Biden has thanked supporters on social media for, quote, lifting us up with love and support. His office says the 82-year-old...
Yeah, get well soon, man. Hopefully the homie can beat that, right? Like, you know what I'm saying?
was seen by doctors last week for urinary symptoms and was...
Maybe the Americans don't want him to get elected again, but you know what? He gotta beat this one, okay? He gotta beat the prostate, bro.
Diagnosed after a nodule was found on his prostate. The cancer, rated as a 9 on what's known as the Gleason scale, which rates the appearance of cancerous cells from 1 to 10. Anything 6 or less developing more slowly than anything 8 or higher.
It's not rare that men come in with a prostate cancer diagnosis that's already spread elsewhere in the body.
This Canadian radiation oncologist expects Biden will be treated with hormone therapy, which reduces the testosterone the disease feeds on, killing cancer cells.
On average, men who are diagnosed with prostate cancer that's already spread to the bone right from the get-go, their life expectancy is measured in many years. And as I say, is that 3 years, 5 years, 7 years, 10 years? It's probably somewhere in that range.
But even as tributes for Biden pour in online, political opponents have used the diagnosis to raise questions about just how long the cancer's been there.
And why did...
Okay, who do you blame, man? Okay, this is what I get interesting, though. Who do you blame, though?
The American people have a better sense of his health picture.
Having a Gleason score of 9 and spread to the bones does make it highly suspicious that this was going on for years.
Rutledge says not every case of prostate cancer is detected through the blood test used for screening, known as a PSA, which could explain the late diagnosis. That makes pairing an annual PSA...
But bro, bro, he was the former, yeah, say whatever, bro. I wish I could say psych too, but like, damn, he was the former president of the damn United States of America, bruh. So how did you, he should have had some of the, not some, but the best of healthcare. What happened, bro? What happened,
Say
man?
with physical exams all the more important, a lesson in best possible prevention from this high-profile case. Heidi Petracek, Global News, Halifax.
Families in Mexico are grieving the loss of two naval cadets who died Saturday night after their ship crashed into New York's Brooklyn Bridge. The sailors were a 20-year-old woman and 23-year-old man, and they were among dozens standing on the ship's masts when it collided with the bridge. Their bodies are set to be returned home.
Yo, that's crazy. Okay, I just, I heard about the story and I saw the clip over on X or Twitter, but I didn't think anybody passed away, man. That's crazy. That's sad. Rest in peace to the people that passed away, and you know, condolences to the family for sure. But yeah, no, I just saw like it crashed into the bridge, and you know, the top of the ship actually just, yeah, understandably broke in half, but there were no one on top of them, so I thought like it was okay, so it crashed in and that was about it. But damn, man, that's wild.
Soon. Separate investigations into the incident are now underway by both the Mexican Navy and U.S. transportation authorities.
This is the start of a long process. We will not be drawing any conclusions. We will not speculate.
Too late for that.
We will also not be determining the probable cause while we're on scene.
But we need to know the probable cause so we can prevent it in the future, right? Like, what happened? It was probably tall, right? Maybe the bridge should have been opened or something like that. Oh, okay, I'm making shit up right now. But we need to know like what caused it. So we need to get to the root cause of it so it doesn't happen again, you know?
New York City police say the ship lost power as it departed the city's harbor and was pulled by the river's current into the bridge. More than 20 other sailors were injured. U.S. investigators say there.
Okay, that makes sense then. So it wasn't supposed to be there. So it lost power, and then because of the currents, there goes my light. There we go. Yeah, fantastic. Okay, okay, makes sense.
Waiting on the Mexican government to allow them access to the ship. Most of its crew members have now traveled home. Prime Minister Mark Carney, along with the leaders of Britain and France, said today they will take further action against Israel, including targeted sanctions, unless Israel stops its renewed and expanded ground assault of Gaza and lifts all aid restrictions.
Bruh, like, Israel don't want peace by the looks of it. So recently, and this is another video, there's a video that I'm working on, because there's a whole lot of stuff coming out about Israel's involvement with 911. And I already uploaded that video. It's unlisted, but as expected, YouTube kind of like hit it. So if I upload it, it's gonna be censored. It's gonna be shadowed, banned. So I'm trying to work out a way to actually upload it. Yeah, so there's a whole lot of stuff coming out on Israel. Like, they were also allegedly, there's a whole lot of evidence supporting it that they were also behind JFK assassination, the 911 stuff. At least they knew about it, and some of their Mossad agents were there in US at that time to document it, and we actually have a footage of that. Yeah, so it's a crazy rabbit hole, and yeah, a lot of people are talking about it, and now they are also pretty mad with Trump because he actually went to the Middle East to make those peace talks. Yeah, I'll drop that video, but I should have already have that video, but like I said, it got hit, but we'll upload it regardless.
So food can reach starving Palestinians.
Yeah, bro, like at what point you suckers just stop it already, bro? At what point y'all suckers gonna keep on bombing, bro? Like, damn, man.
Medical supplies are also running dry as Israel targets hospitals and medical supply warehouses like this one. Israel's 11-week aid blockade has brought Gaza to the brink of famine. And despite an Israeli order yesterday to allow aid trucks in, it's nowhere near enough. Redmond Shannon reports.
Yeah.
Moving again. Thousands flee Khan Yunis after yet another Israeli evacuation order, issued as part of Israel's renewed offensive in Gaza that began Friday. This woman says she and her family are tired of displacement and tired of hunger. following 11 weeks without any deliveries of aid into the Strip.
Man, it's moments like these you gotta be thankful for. Yeah, man, I don't know what to do, man. Like, you know, imagine you're like in that situation. Like, what do you do, bro? Like, shit, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just crazy. Yeah, hope for the best, man. Hope for the peace.
But on Monday, Israel said it allowed 5 aid trucks, like these ones, into Gaza.
It's a drop in the ocean. It's less than 1% of what people in Gaza need. At least 500, 600 trucks a day should be allowed to meet huge needs.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said the quote, minimal aid is being resumed for practical and diplomatic reasons. He said he had come under pressure from US senators. International criticism came from some of Israel's other allies on Monday too. In a joint statement, Canada, France and the UK called the partial resumption of aid wholly inadequate, and that Israel risks breaching international humanitarian law.
Risking breaching, bro. They breached it a while back, bro. What do you mean, man? Like, damn. Yeah, bro. Now, I just hope for peace, like, everywhere, but you know, it's an imperfect world. It's an imperfect world. I mean, yeah, bro. At what point, like, what? Yeah, what do you guys want more of, bruh? Probably the land, I guess, but.
Oh, the statement threatens concrete actions unless Israel ends its offensive and blockade. The statement also condemned members of the Israeli government who have suggested Gazans will eventually be forced to flee the Strip.
I mean, that's what they want.
On Monday, Netanyahu also pledged that Israel will take control of all of Gaza.
Yeah,
the Israeli leader said,
and they want the land, bro. Like, that's what it is.
This partial aid resumption is just a stopgap until a US-backed aid plan takes effect. That will see private firms distribute aid under the protection of Israeli soldiers. Netanyahu says it will prevent trucks from being looted. The UN and aid groups say such a plan goes against basic humanitarian principles. Carolyn?
Redmond Shannon in London, thank you. In southern India, days of torrential downpours have completely swamped communities, including the country's sprawling tech hub. Residents could be seen on dinghies.
But you still gotta be on the phone, right, homie?
Communities, including the country's sprawling.
But you still gotta be on the phone, right, homie? Come on, man. But yo, like, that is crazy. So they actually, yeah, they can actually have their own boats and like they can ride that thing. But yeah, flooding. Hopefully people didn't lose their life or anything, but definitely. Crazy situation.
Residents could be seen on dinghies, the back of trucks, and wading through waist-high water as authorities.
Yeah, a guy laughing.
Helped rescue people from their homes. Locals say the flooding has been made worse by poor sewage infrastructure.
Yeah.
Canada Post says it's been issued strike notice from the union representing 55,000 postal workers.
Fantastic. Canada back at it again, man. Yeah, bruh. I'm in Canada, by the way, you know. Canada.
The Crown Corporation says workers intend to walk out and hit the picket line Friday morning at midnight. That's roughly...
bro, okay, maybe I'm mishearing this, but like, what the hell? Yo, please don't do it, man. If you did not know, Canada Post actually went on a strike, I believe around November last year, October, November. So yeah, they did it for, I believe, 2-3 months, solid 2-3 months, and the mails were... Yeah, we were not receiving mails. Oh, shit. Actually, deadass, we were not receiving mails, and we did not receive it for months. And there was so much of the back catalog because they had mails and they kept it at their warehouses, so they were not delivering none of that. They were like, we go on a strike, we go on a strike. And then they lifted, so it took some time. Now, please don't tell me that they're gonna go on a strike again, man. Come on, man. Good lord, bro.
At least 6 months since the last job action, as negotiations for a new collective agreement stall. The Postal Service is also facing financial struggles. A recent report by a federal mediator found the company is effectively bankrupt.
Damn.
Hundreds of people in northwestern Ontario have been forced from their homes due to threatening wildfires. While across the border in Manitoba, 13 fires are burning, 3 of them out of control. Fortunately, the fire in Lac du Bonny is now being held. That fire killed 2 people.
What happened? What happened? I never heard any story. I feel like now it should be good, but you know, we had the Palisade, Los Angeles, Californian fires that happened. We were hearing a lot, but then it's like nothing after that. So I suppose they were under control. But any of you around that area, yeah, let us know. Or any of you around this Ontario, Manitoba area too, let us know in the comments.
People and destroyed dozens of homes last week. Her Singh has the latest on the firefight on both sides of the border.
Both sides.
While
okay,
some
even
rain
US,
and a temperature drop have helped Manitoba communities fighting wildfires in the east, it's still a fight to get the upper hand.
The last updates have shown no major spreading of the fire, but it also is still considered an out-of-control fire. They haven't fully got containment of it yet, so it's still a high-risk situation.
Those fast-moving wildfires have also forced more than 800 people from their First Nation in northwestern Ontario. Ken Pickering, who was forced to flee Whiteshell, says the community was surrounded by multiple wildfires and an early evacuation was the right move.
Got the Nopaming fire above us, we've got Lac du Bonnet that's still burning, and the one on the east. So we've got three, we're surrounded by three considered out-of-control fires. So I think Manitoba Parks is playing it safe.
And over at Lac du Bonnet, where 2 people died, more than 28 properties were lost and countless wildlife.
The magnitude, we were advised that it was burning at over 1600 degrees and it was jumping ahead, you know, it was traveling at over 5 kilometers an hour. It was like, it's a demon that has a mind of its own.
About 1,000 residents were told to leave and some have been able to return.
We would...
Okay, why you gotta sound like so dramatic? I know, I mean, it's pretty bad, but like, some were unable to leave, therefore they did not leave. And after that, they actually left. Okay, bro, come on, man. Start like...
Estimate approximately 150 last night into that zone number 6, where the restrictions were lifted.
The situation is far from over, and precaution...
The situation is far from over.
...will be prioritized before letting anybody back in. Her saying...
the way he's talking. Wendigo! Straight ahead, no! Yo, the Wendigo situation. Yeah, I'm thinking about those kind of Wendigos, you know, those creepy bastards.
Global News, Winnipeg.
Did you see this video? Yeah, speaking of the Wendigos, right? Them twats, them aliens, this, that, the other. Yeah, click on this video on the screen, bro. Yes, check this one out. This video right here, exactly this one. Check it out and I'll see you right there. You're gonna love it.